Fear of failure can affect our careers, personal goals, and relationships. The thought of failing can be so paralyzing that it stops us from even trying, preventing us from taking risks, pursuing our dreams, and living life to its fullest potential. Yet no one who has ever achieved anything significant has done so without encountering failure along the way. This fear is deeply rooted in our desire for acceptance, perfection, and control. We worry about what others will think if we fail, fearing judgment, ridicule, or being seen as incompetent. We also avoid failure because it challenges our self-image and makes us feel inadequate. But in avoiding failure, we limit our growth. By staying within the safety of our comfort zones, we restrict opportunities to learn, grow, and reach our full potential. Failure itself isn't what holds us back, it's the fear of what failure represents. It feels like an attack on our self-worth, but the truth is, failure is simply feedback. It tells us what didn't work, offering the chance to try again with a better approach. When we shift our mindset and stop viewing failure as a personal defeat, we open ourselves up to endless possibilities. One of the most powerful tools for overcoming the fear of failure is reframing it. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your abilities or value, view it as an opportunity for growth. Each failure provides valuable information that helps you improve. Failure teaches you what doesn't work, sharpens your skills, and ultimately brings you closer to success. Consider Thomas Edison, who famously invented the light bulb. He didn't succeed on his first try, or even his 100th. In fact, he reportedly failed thousands of times before finally getting it right. Instead of seeing these setbacks as failures, Edison viewed them as essential learning experiences. The lesson here is simple. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. The more you fail, the more you learn and grow. By shifting your perspective, you can transform failure into a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. The fear of failure often stems from deeply ingrained desires and past experiences. Many of us strive for perfection, and the thought of not meeting our own high standards can be overwhelming. We worry about being judged by others, fearing that our mistakes will make us look incompetent or unworthy. Past failures that led to embarrassment or disappointment can also play a significant role. These painful memories can make us hesitant to take risks, as we don't want to experience that sting of failure again. However, failure is inevitable. It's an inescapable part of life, and no one reaches success without stumbling along the way. In fact, the road to success is often paved with failures. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in how they respond to failure. One major reason we fear failure is our desire for perfection. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. When we set unrealistically high expectations for ourselves, anything less than perfect feels like failure. This fear of falling short can prevent us from trying new things or taking risks, ultimately holding us back from opportunities for growth and self-discovery. It's important to recognize that perfection is an illusion. No one is perfect, and the pursuit of perfection only leads to unnecessary stress and anxiety. What truly matters is progress, not perfection. Every small step forward, even if it involves a few missteps, brings you closer to your goals. Another powerful driver of the fear of failure is the fear of being judged by others. We worry about what people will think if we fail, and this fear can be debilitating. Whether it's our colleagues, friends, or family, the thought of disappointing others or facing their criticism can prevent us from taking bold steps toward our goals. However, most people are far more focused on their own lives than on our failures. Everyone has their own struggles and challenges, and chances are, they're not as concerned with your missteps as you might think. In fact, many people admire those who are willing to take risks and persevere, even in the face of failure. Every successful person you admire has experienced failure at some point. What sets them apart is how they respond to it. Rather than allowing failure to hold them back, they use it as a stepping stone toward growth and success. Failure provides valuable lessons about what doesn't work, what needs improvement, and how to adapt your approach. It's through failure that we learn, grow, and ultimately succeed. One of the most effective ways to overcome the fear of failure is to shift how you view it. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your inadequacy or the end of the road, reframe it as feedback. When you treat failure as feedback, it becomes a tool for learning and improvement, not a measure of your worth. This mindset shift can fundamentally change the way you approach challenges and setbacks in life. Failure simply means there is something to be learned or adjusted. It doesn't mean you're incapable or unworthy of success. In fact, failure often unlocks the key to discovering what works and what doesn't. Every time you fail, you gain valuable insights into how to refine your strategies, sharpen your skills, or change your approach. This makes failure an integral part of the journey toward success, not a barrier to it. When you experience failure, instead of reacting with frustration or disappointment, pause and reflect. Reflection allows you to see beyond the emotional sting of failure and focus on what you can gain from the experience. Ask yourself questions like, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What lessons can I take from this situation? This reflective process transforms failure from a source of discouragement into an opportunity for growth. It helps you analyze your actions objectively and identify areas for improvement. By doing this, you can take control of the situation rather than feel defeated by it. You begin to see failure as a learning experience that equips you with the knowledge and resilience to do better next time. Reframing failure as feedback is closely linked to adopting a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, sigi, and talents can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset see failure not as a permanent state, but as a natural part of the learning process. They understand that setbacks are inevitable, but don't let those setbacks define them. When you adopt a growth mindset, failure becomes less intimidating because it's no longer seen as a negative reflection of your abilities. Instead, it's viewed as an essential part of your development. This mindset empowers you to take risks, try new things, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone, knowing that any failures along the way will only make you stronger and more knowledgeable. Reframing failure as feedback also has long-term benefits. It fosters resilience, the ability to bounce back from difficulties and keep moving forward. When you stop fearing failure, you become more willing to take risks, which opens the door to new opportunities and experiences. This mindset helps build confidence over time, because each failure you encounter reinforces the fact that you can handle setbacks and emerge stronger. One of the main reasons people fear failure is because they set unrealistic expectations for themselves. We live in a world that often glorifies instant success and overlooks the small steps and setbacks that are part of any journey. As a result, we expect to achieve massive success on our first attempt, and when we don't, it feels like a personal failure. However, true progress rarely happens in giant leaps. It's built through steady, small steps. The key to overcoming the fear of failure lies in managing your expectations and taking things one step at a time. When you set expectations that are too high, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and discouraged. You may feel like you must achieve perfection or reach a certain level of success quickly, but this mindset sets you up for disappointment. No one becomes an expert overnight, and no successful endeavor is accomplished without setbacks. It's essential to realize that growth and achievement are gradual processes, and learning from mistakes is a natural part of that journey. A more effective approach is to set small, achievable goals that allow you to experience consistent progress. These smaller goals act as stepping stones, helping you build confidence and momentum as you move toward larger objectives. For example, if you're starting a new business, rather than focusing on becoming a multi-million-dollar company right away, set a goal to secure your first client or launch your website. Breaking your larger goal into smaller tasks makes it more manageable and less intimidating, reducing the pressure to succeed immediately. By focusing on small wins, you shift your mindset from fearing failure to embracing progress. Achieving these incremental goals gives you a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing the belief that you are capable of success. Each small step forward builds your resilience and confidence, making it easier to take on bigger challenges in the future. Taking small steps also reduces the risk of burnout. When you set massive goals and expect rapid results, you may become discouraged when things don't go as planned. This discouragement can lead to frustration, exhaustion, and ultimately giving up. However, when you focus on small, realistic steps, you give yourself the space to learn, adapt, and improve without overwhelming yourself. Additionally, small steps allow you to experiment and adjust your approach as needed. When you take on too much too quickly, it's harder to see what's working and what isn't. By breaking things down, you can more easily evaluate your progress and make changes as necessary. This helps you avoid feeling stuck or defeated and encourages a mindset of continuous improvement. As you achieve these smaller goals, it's important to celebrate your successes along the way. These victories, no matter how small, are proof that you are moving forward. Recognizing your progress keeps you motivated and reminds you that every step is part of a larger journey. Over time, these small wins accumulate and contribute to the larger success you're working toward. One of the biggest obstacles to overcoming the fear of failure is negative self-talk. This inner dialogue creeps in during moments of doubt, with a relentless inner critic convincing you that failure is not only likely, but inevitable. While these thoughts may feel powerful, it's important to remember one key thing: they are not the truth. Negative self-talk is a habitual response, often rooted in past experiences, societal expectations, or internalized fears. The only way to truly overcome the fear of failure is through action. No amount of planning or overthinking will completely eliminate that fear until you step outside your comfort zone and face it head on. The key is to start small, taking manageable risks that gradually push you beyond your limits. Whether it's applying for a job you're uncertain about, launching a project that excites and scares you, or trying something completely unfamiliar, it's important to give yourself permission to fail and to learn from the process. Taking risks is essential for personal growth. When you remain in your comfort zone, you shield yourself from the possibility of failure, but you also block your potential for success. True growth comes from trying new things and challenging yourself to go beyond what you think you can achieve. The discomfort you feel when taking a risk is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. It's part of the process of building confidence, learning new skills, and discovering strengths you didn't even know you had. One of the most liberating decisions you can make is to allow yourself to fail. By giving yourself permission to fail, you remove the pressure of having to get everything right the first time. You acknowledge that failure is not only possible, but natural, and it's not something to be feared. It's part of the journey towards success. Instead of viewing failure as a catastrophe, start seeing it as feedback. Every failure teaches you something valuable about yourself, your approach, or the task at hand. When you try something new and it doesn't work out as planned, you gain insight into what you can do differently next time. This perspective shift makes failure less of a final outcome and more of a stepping stone toward improvement and eventual success. Each time you take a step outside your comfort zone, the fear of failure becomes less powerful. At first, it may feel overwhelming, like you're walking into the unknown without a safety net. But the more risks you take, the more you'll realize that failure is rarely as devastating as you feared. You'll develop resilience and learn that you can recover from setbacks, adjust your strategy, and try again with new knowledge and experience. Successes, even small ones, will begin to accumulate. Every win, no matter how minor, serves as evidence that you are capable of more than you once believed. These victories, however small, are essential for building self-confidence and reducing the hold that fear has over you. Ultimately, taking risks and celebrating progress are essential components of overcoming the fear of failure. By consistently stepping outside your comfort zone and acknowledging every step forward, you'll prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you once believed. Over time, the fear of failure will lose its power, and you'll begin to embrace the opportunities that come with taking risks. It's a necessary part of growth and success. When you stop fearing failure and instead see it as a tool for learning, you begin to unlock your true potential. Many of the most successful people in the world didn't achieve greatness by avoiding failure. Instead, they embraced it, learned from it, and used it as a stepping stone toward their goals. So, what risks are you going to take today? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey to overcoming fear and embracing failure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to Authentic Self for more content that helps you build confidence and live your best life.